Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ayla, and I am a community nutrition assistant at Center for Healthy Communities. I'm here to go over healthy eating for teens, and we're going to start with lesson one, food and you. So food is essential for life. It provides the body energy and nutrients, and it's also a way for everyone to come together and enjoy themselves over food. However, being well fed doesn't exactly mean being well nourished. A brief overview of that is maybe the foods that you're choosing to eat are not necessarily have a lot of nutrients in it, and therefore your body is not getting what it needs to function properly. So learning to eat a healthy diet is important at every stage in life. It doesn't matter whether you're old or young, everyone benefits from a healthy diet. And so we are just going to go ahead and dive in with a video.
Eating healthy is important. The foods and drinks you choose for meals and snacks can help you be healthier now and in the future. And it's more than eating one healthy meal or one healthy snack. Your food choices add up and they all matter. So, where to start? First, choose foods from all 5 food groups throughout the day and throughout the week. Fruits, vegetables, grains, protein foods, and dairy. Your fruits and vegetables can be fresh, frozen, dried, or canned. Try roasting or steaming them as a helpful option. Try starting your day with whole grains, like oatmeal or whole grain cereal. For extra flavor and crunch, add your favorite fruit or a handful of nuts. Stuck in the same old routine? Mix up your protein foods. Try seafood twice a week. And enjoy milk and yogurt in recipes or on their own. Read labels and ingredient lists to compare foods and choose healthier options. Across all of your choices, drink and eat less sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars. And hey, we know it's not always on a plate. It's about making shifts no matter where you are. Start with small changes to make healthier choices you can enjoy. Small changes add up to big wins. For more information, visit choosemyplate.gov.
So from that video, what is something that caught your eye and something that you might want to try this week? So some of the options stated in the video were start the day with whole grains like oatmeal and making it more interesting, maybe by adding milk to it and some toppings like nuts and seeds, considering unsweetened peanut butter if you want it to be a little bit sweetened in there. Try milk or yogurt in a recipe or on their own. If you're someone who likes to bake yogurt into like muffins and breads, make them really moist, and smoothies, it thickens them up a little bit more, or you can simply just enjoy it on its own. Eating a piece of fruit with lunch. It's a great way to kind of settle things out at the end and not feel too full afterwards, and snacking on a handful of nuts maybe. It's a great way to pick a variety of nuts and try something different each time. So nutrients in the form of energy or vitamins and vitamins and minerals. It helps the body grow, repair tissues, and it gives energy to the body systems. So there's 2 categories that you'll need to know about nutrients, which are micronutrients and micronutrients. Maybe this is something you've already heard, but macronutrients are going to be the carbohydrates, the protein, and the fats. Macro meaning large. We need larger amounts of the carbohydrates, protein, and fats throughout our day. And so this is what gives the body energy. Micronutrients, on the other hand, means smaller amounts of vitamins and minerals, and this helps the body grow and repair tissues. So the 2 categories here are going to be what keeps our body functioning and going, and including a variety of foods can help us stay alert and awake and focus and not so tired. So nutrients can be stored in the body for a short period of time. And in the video, I don't know if you've caught it, that she mentions eating throughout your day every single day. And that's because something that you ate yesterday isn't going to be that beneficial to you in a few more days because your body's used it. It's already gone to the pathways for energy and it's used it to repair those tissues, and you're at an age where you're growing, so your body's using everything. And so having it throughout your day every day ensures that your body's getting enough of what it needs. And variety makes a difference too, not only for your body but for you. So including a variety of foods makes it more interesting and experimenting, and it's beneficial not to your body but for you, so you don't get bored, you know. So my plate food groups are dairy, veggies, fruits, grains, and proteins. How can you include more of these food into your day? What are some ideas? If you have someone in the room with you, like a parent or siblings, maybe trying to pause this video to discuss that with them would be a good start. If not, maybe writing something down for yourself to see how you can include more into your day. The options that were given in the video are just some examples. Maybe you want to start your morning with fruit instead and then dive into oatmeal, or perhaps it's eggs and avocado for breakfast and including more vegetables at dinner. So go ahead and just think of these creative ways of how you can add more nutritious food, because empty calories can be nutritious meal, like they can be included into your day as long as it's in small amounts. So we're not telling you to not eat it at all, but rather eat less of it so that you can include more of the other 5 food groups. So empty calorie foods, like mentioned before, are going to be not that beneficial for the body. That's because it's low in nutrients. And so what you are eating is going to be mostly high in saturated fat, sodium, and added sugar, which doesn't really do much at all other than it tastes good. So perhaps reducing the amount that you eat and replacing it with some more fruits and vegetables and any other food group in there to try to get a variety will be ideal. So this is the US consumption relation to my plate food group recommendations. And so those empty calories are more than likely going to be like processed foods. And processed foods kind of lack the vegetables, the dairy, and the fruit. If you look here, we have the 5 food groups down on the X, and then on the Y-axis, we have the recommendation. We see that we have protein and grains as exceeding well above the recommendation that my plate suggests. However, we are not getting enough of vegetables, dairy, and fruit. Can think about the last time you ate a vegetable. How much did you eat of it? And how often do you eat this? Do the same to like dairy and fruit. Maybe these are questions that you need to ask yourself to figure out, what should I eat a little bit more of, or what should I include more into my day? And this will lead us into our activity. I hope you are able to print it out. And if not, you can just grab a sheet of paper and write it down. The first activity is going to be a food log. Think about everything that you ate yesterday and write it down. Write down the quantity, any toppings that you had with it, what types of drinks did you have throughout your day, some snacks. Don't forget things like condiments, and perhaps maybe all the water that you had throughout the day, something that you probably don't normally think about until you write it down, then you'll see it. So we'll start with that activity. This is just a sample here, but if you write down the foods that you ate, you want to try to make an X or check off what food groups are included in that meal. The first example that we have here is the packet of oatmeal with banana, eggs, and milk, which checks off dairy, fruit, grains, and protein. But if you look at lunch, it's a chicken sandwich, a canned fruit juice, sports drink, and it marks dairy, vegetables from the tomatoes and lettuce in the sandwich, grains, and protein. But if you look, we now have 2 X's in the empty calorie area. And this can be the mayonnaise that's in the sandwich and also the fruit juice sports drink, because now it has added sugar. think about what yours looks like. Do you have more checks in the empty calorie category, or do you kind of have a balance like we have here? Maybe in this sample, we could probably use another vegetable and it's a little bit more fruit, but for the most part, it looks pretty imbalanced, right? So that's something to observe and find more ways of how you can include nutritious foods throughout your day. So now checking out this chart, does did you mark things off correctly? Was maybe a fruit was checked off, but really it was a vegetable and vice versa. I know most of the time we see bell peppers and avocados as vegetables, and that's okay because although they do have seeds and they are technically fruits, we usually mark them off as vegetables, and that's fine. In the dairy section, you'll notice that we don't have cream cheese or sour cream, and that's because cream cheese and sour cream doesn't provide enough calcium in order to be considered part of the dairy group. And although it can be good on a bagel or in burritos, but it doesn't really provide much to us. Remember that vitamins and minerals help the body grow and repairs tissues, and if it doesn't have that much calcium in it, what is it going to do for our body? And right now, you are in that growing stage, so your body really needs it at this point. So the activity log, I just want you to write down all the activities that you did, whether it was a walk around the block, chasing the dog, jump roping, running, maybe going up and down the stairs, choosing the stairs over the elevator, or perhaps running errands with your parents. That can be like walking around the mall, going to Target, walking to and from the parking lot, and just write down the time that it took for you to complete that. I'd also want you to take a look to see what intensity level was it at. Was it low, moderate, or vigorous? And that's going to lead into our next discussion. So what type of activity did you include? Did you have any activity at all? Did you notice that maybe you sit all day? So try to move more because it makes us feel good, right? And it's also better for our everyday health. And just finding something that you enjoy can help you maintain it a little bit longer. So activities that maybe some of us may not acknowledge of it being exercise would be like rollerblading and skating, maybe a 10-minute stretch in the morning, and maybe some low impact yoga. Those are all still physical activity, and that should be included into your day as the 60 minutes that you'll need to complete. So exercise for teens is about 60 minutes per day. It doesn't have to be all at once. It can be broken up in half, perhaps a little bit here and a little bit there. Trying something new, that's something that you enjoy, including weightlifting or resistance to help strengthen your bones. A lot of times it seems like a lot. However, if you can break this up or try something new, it doesn't become so much of a time that's being wasted for you. It can be enjoyable. It can make you feel better and make you feel more alert and feel good too, because sitting all day on these Zoom classes and Google Meets for school can be quite draining to us. And so getting up to move can really make a difference for our mental health as well. So food fuels the body, and if you are more physically active, the more food you'll need. So if you are someone who checked off intensity at vigorous intensity for everything, maybe you are going to be refueling yourself more often than someone who is low impact activity. And then more physical activity at a higher effort is going to be needed to burn unneeded calories, which are the empty calories that we discussed earlier. So I hope that this wasn't too much information and overwhelming, but that you learned something new and enjoyed it, and maybe gave you some new ideas to think about how you can add more nutrients into your day and physical activity while still enjoying it. That is the end of lesson one, and I will hope to have lesson two out soon and enjoy the rest of your week.